Yeah, I think that. Well, first, I appreciate those comments from Angel. I think our players are the ones that deserve the grace. I think we know what comes with the territory. I know what comes with the territory of being a head coach, and so I accept that for better and for worse. And so I appreciate that. And if I get the grace from our players, that's what matters to me. So I try to drown out the outside noise and focus completely on our locker room. I got a staff to worry about and a team to worry about to love and protect them. And so that's where my main focus is. I think when it comes to our players, they come every day ready to work. They come every day ready to stick up for each other. It's been a tough start to the season. We got a lot of season left, so it's not any time to feel extremely sorry for ourselves or to feel like that the season is over. So we got a lot of basketball to play. We got a lot of time to regroup, but we can't do that if we don't stay together with one another. And after every game thus far this year, and every day in practice, and every film session, and every travel session, we enjoy being around each other. And I think that that's kind of the foundation of who we are and who we want to be, and what's going to help us continue to battle these ups and downs through the season.
And just one quick follow-up: how do you keep the morale up? I'm sure the season isn't going how you expected. So what do you do to keep the morale up so you can meet your goals?
Yeah, I think you got to continue to look at the positives from each game. And it may seem like we're extremely far away, but it doesn't always look that way. And so, or it sometimes looks that way and doesn't always feel that way. And so I think there's areas of improvement, and there's areas where we feel decent of what we're doing. But I think first and foremost, we continue to compete. And once you lose the passion or the will to compete, that's the time to worry. And so for now, I think that we're still putting forth that effort and that passion for one another. We're lifting each other up throughout the game and in practices and whatnot. And so as a coach, I think that's all that you can ask for as you continue to battle these highs and lows.
We'll go Jason, then Al.
Tyler, what was the rationale behind your lineup changes, or the lineup you chose tonight?
Yeah, just to mix things up. I think that obviously we had to make a decision at our starting point guard spot with Sue being out, but inserting back into the lineup is just something that we felt like we wanted to mix things up. And so it's nothing that Kia was or wasn't doing. I think that she gave us some solid minutes off the bench today, and she's someone who's been experienced at both positions and situations throughout her career, where she's started some, she's come off the bench some, so we felt comfortable with her being able to adjust, and she's been the consummate professional no matter what. So we appreciate that.
And along those lines, you made a change really early, taking Camilla out 2 minutes of the game. What was the reason for that?
Yeah, I think that we just want to continue energy from it, and I think that she showed that energy the rest of the way through. And so, but yeah, that's all it was to it.
Al.
Coach, we understand that you talked about having patience with this team, but we do understand also this is probably the fourth game where the team has lost over 20 points. What's the message to the team after a loss like this?
That we can't continue to beat ourselves. I think that we got to continue to give ourselves opportunities. There's been several games this season where we've had more offensive possessions than the opposing team, but we've hurt ourselves with turnovers, and a lot of that is our own doing. And so we got to give ourselves a chance to stay in games and continue to battle. And at times we're getting stops and we're unable to convert, or at times we're getting scores and we're not able to get stops. And so we got to find that consistency amongst the team. But at the end of the day, we can't beat ourselves. If we lose a game, it's got to be because the other team was just better and made more shots than we did. But it can't take us out of who we want to be and what we want to do.
Christine, front row on your left.
I just wanted to follow up on something I just said earlier about the positives. Can you just give some examples from tonight's game, especially in that fourth quarter? You outscored Liberty 24-15. What were some of the positives that you saw in that fourth quarter?
I think first is that we're still, like, our effort is still there. Our will to compete is still there. That's gotta maintain. We all get paid to do a job, and we can't take the opportunity to play for granted. As we've seen, if there's anyone that wants to be here, is Courtney Vandersloot, and it can be gone at the moment of an eye. So we got to appreciate every opportunity we're able to step on that floor and compete, no matter what the final score says. It's a privilege to get out there and to wear this jersey and play for this city and to play for this organization and compete against the team that's the reigning champions. And so it was good to see that. It was good to see the energy on the bench continue to be positive and uplifting each other. And then on the court, I think we we found a little bit of rhythm going inside and slowing things down a little bit more. But again, if we can cut down some of those turnovers, I think it gives us more of a chance to kind of equalize things on the offensive end.
Finn, second on your left.
Just we going back to the turnovers and obviously 15 first half turnovers, 14 late field goals. Just what was the difference? What accounted for the 15 in the first half?
I think it was just I think we were just kind of forcing a little bit too much. We weren't letting things come to us. We were letting New York dictate a little bit more than we wanted to. And second half, I thought we did a decent job of protecting the basketball. But first half, I think it was just it was a lack of space and a lack of rhythm. We just the pressure kind of bothered us a little bit.
Second row on your right.
John Harvey from Chicago game coach. You spoke about kind of the hardships you guys have been going through this season. However, on a positive note, I do want to speak about the positive leadership that you've seen from Reese, and just from other teammates as well. While the season's this tough right now, they're still coming in with high spirits and still trying to lead these young guys. What can you speak about their leadership?
Yeah, I think our leadership has kind of been widespread. It's been there's been accountability on from our vets, and there's been a willingness to be accountable from our young players as well. I think that they've learned a good bit from those that have been more experienced in the league. Mariah Jefferson hasn't really played a game yet, and she's been extremely influential in the locker room from a leadership standpoint. And then throughout the game, obviously, Angel being out there and being a vocal presence and being a vocal leader out there is keeping people engaged and setting the tone from that standpoint. And so it's just great to see them continue to come together and do what's needed to be done and say what's needed to be said in moments to where we can, where we're probably able to feel bad about ourselves, but the other team isn't. And so we got to continue to stay upbeat and uplifted in those moments so we can continue to fight and compete.
Last few questions. We have third row on your right.
Coach, just want to ask you, because you had a chance to have that lead cut to 13 despite taking their first blow. We're trying to come back. There's something about the competitiveness the team showed tonight against a Liberty team that we've seen them with what they did against the Sun, with how they can avalanche. You talked about how your team was really still about the competitive nature tonight. And if this Liberty team is the deepest team in this deep league that you have faced so far this season.
Yeah, I mean they have a championship pedigree, and so they're well coached. They got veteran leadership over there. They got youthful presence. I think that when you play against teams like the Liberty, again, you can't afford to have self-inflicted wounds, and so because they make you pay for them. And so, again, proud of the way that we battled tonight. I think that again, if we can cut down some of our own mistakes on both ends of the floor, I think we'll be more of a position to have a fighting chance at the end of games.
Back row on your left.
Coach, what's going on?
Hi.
Hey, Rangers Luke Robinson. You well respected across basketball with stints in the NBA, WNBA, all over. Although you guys are struggling a bit, I'm curious, can you ever trace back a time in your career where there was maybe a similar pattern like this, and how did you get through it?
Like this, no, because I think that's just because of the position that I'm in. I think that I always say as a player development coach or as an assistant coach, you have the luxury to just make suggestions and not make decisions. And so everything in this seat kind of falls on you. And so it's fine. But I think that I've been a part of teams that didn't necessarily have winning seasons, but and those are tough in itself, no matter what position you're in. But I think now the difference is when you're not in the head seat, you're just figuring out how you can make an impact in your role. And now in this position, it's more about how can you continue to protect the players and how can you continue to make sure that they're in good spirits, and you got a staff that you're overseeing and how to make sure that they stay uplifted as well. And so after these types of games, that's where my mind and my heart immediately go to, and how I can be the best head coach for them. And then we worry about the basketball after.
Last two questions. We have third row on your left.
What was the biggest challenge tonight? Was it the turnovers or?
Yeah, I think it's the turnovers because one, the turnovers impact your ability to get back in transition for a team that is really good in transition. And so I think also it's just again with the number of possessions, we only had 5 less shot attempts tonight with 22 turnovers. And so you cut those in half and you give yourselves a chance to get more attempts at the rim. You don't know what those can convert into, but maybe it has a positive impact on what that fourth quarter looks like. And so, again, just a championship team, you can't beat yourself because they make you pay on that.
Last question for on your right.
What did you see from Angel tonight offensively between her fast start, her efficiency? Just did you see her doing anything differently?
Differently, no. I think that what we saw tonight is who Angel is. I think that she was maybe a little bit more aggressive in kind of demanding her spots and not letting it come to her, but her kind of initiating. And so that was good to see. It was good to see the aggressiveness that she had. I thought she competed all night on both ends, and so and she was a great teammate throughout the game. So it's what we want to see from Angel. She was great tonight. So.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.